They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tyre, buddy.
JK Smart Tyre, the tyre with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tyre.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform, I will outrank, I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
The Lux Life. The lip on the glass. The journeys you make. The roads you take. Beyond the rest. above the best. You float above. Levitas Ultra from JK Tyre, made for dream machines.
Hello, namaskar, khushamdeed and sat sri akal. It is a competition to find who stands tall. It is one of Indian cuisine's great gatherings. It is a rivalry that has only intensified season after season. Welcome to JK Tyre Ranger Series presents the Hindu Business Line Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2023 in association with BSE. This is one of India's premier corporate quiz championships in its compellingly crucial 20th edition. And I am your quizmaster, Ajay Punia, feeling privileged in bringing this quiz to you virtually. In its preliminary rounds that lasted over half a month, over 6,000 corporate executives, business professionals, B-school students, and MBA aspirants participated from all over India. What brings us together today is our second of 6 regional rounds for participants from the Hyderabad region. All of them had a similar journey en route to the regional final, and one more thing that they share in common is the desire to shine bright. And shining bright and looking sharp, they are today as well, for in return for flaunting their phenomenal knowledge, there's a lot they can receive. The winner today marches on to the national final at the BSE in Mumbai. And once there, they fight the other regional winners for the most coveted intellectual title and win a handsome prize money worth rupees 1.5 lakhs. There's first prize of rupees 75,000, second prize of rupees 50,000, and third prize of rupees 25,000. I've described the prickly path they took to get here, and I have laid out what lies in store for them, should they perform to their potential. So, who's the they I'm speaking of? Let's meet the Hyderabad finalists. Number 1 on the list is someone who has stood second in the previous 2 editions of Hyderabad, but in the last edition, he was lucky to make his way to the national final when the Hyderabad winner didn't show up. And once there at the national final, he made it his own when he became the second runner-up. He is back. He is Naveen Kumar from Sailitra Constructions. And now, of course, to fresh challengers for Naveen. Next is a freelancer. He is Raktim Nav. Following him, number 3 on the list is Sudhanshu Shekhar Swine from Infosys. Then at number 4 is Ayman Ali from Sail Bhilai. And our penultimate participant is a doctor. He is Murtaza Hashmi from DCMs. And finally, the 6th name on the list is our second participant from Sail Bhilai. This is Himanshu Verma. So these are the 6 sharing the burden of responsibility to find a winner who could perhaps lift the title and bring it to Hyderabad. While they make themselves comfortable with that thought, let's egg them on with some words of wisdom from the pillar of strength of Cerebration, Mr. Raghuveer Srinivasan, editor, BusinessLine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 20th edition of the Hindu Business Line Cerebration Corporate Quiz. This is a prestigious corporate quiz championship which attracts executives from companies, business professionals, MBA aspirants, and students from India's leading B schools. This is the 20th edition of the quiz, and it has established a name for itself in the Indian quiz calendar, attracting quiz buffs of the highest caliber. Just to give you a quick brief on how this works, participants will be asked to answer 20 questions to qualify for the regional round. And the top 6 contestants from each city will compete in the virtual regional finals. The final, of course, will be an in-person event. It'll be in Mumbai, and it's going to be on the 29th of October. And the regional final winners from 6 cities will fight it out for the coveted title of Cerebration Quiz winner. The winners will all take home prize money of 1.5 lakhs. The first prize is 75,000, second prize of 50,000, and the third prize is 25,000. The Cerebration Corporate Quiz this year is sponsored by JK Tyre Ranger Series in association with the Bombay Stock Exchange, and associate partners are State Bank of India, Grayon Cosmetics, and Parker Pens. Our partner for television is News6. So without much ado, let me call opening for this year's Cerebration Quiz. Wish you all the best as you compete for one of the most prestigious titles in the Indian quizzing calendar, and may the best person win. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now I request the company of Sri Sundaraman Ramamurthy, MD, BSc, to address the gathering.
BSc is happy to note that Hindu Business Line is conducting the 20th edition of BusinessLine Cerebration Quiz 2023, which draws talented business professionals, corporate executives, MBA aspirants, and B School students. We are glad to be associated with this. In our continuous efforts to promote awareness of financial markets and corporate India, we are proud to host the grand finale at BSc. I wish all the best to the regional winners from 6 cities of Mumbai, New Delhi, Hyderabad, Kochi, Chennai, and Bengaluru. May the best flourish.
Thank you, sir. Now, a moment of heartfelt gratitude for our partners who made this gathering, the Hindu Business Line Celebration 2023, possible. Presenting partner JK Tyre is brought to you in association with BSc. Associate partners SBI, Grayon, and Parker Pen by Luxor Group, and TV partner News6. Thank you to each and every one of you. Right then, participants, from here, the distance you need to cover is of 4 overs, at the end of which 5 of you will make a 180-degree turn for a journey back home, but the one that remains gives themselves a chance to ignite the eternal flame of quizzing glory at the big final. Let's begin the opening spell with first over. It's called Power Play. 6 questions in all on the buzzer. Each question will have 3 clues. 10 seconds after you press, 10 seconds after the third clue. For the first couple of clues, I will manually decide when I'd like to move on subsequently. And of course, there is only one buzzer per participant per question, which means if you hit the buzzer on the first clue, you can't try it again on the second or the third clue. That is, of course, if you got it wrong on the first clue when you hit the buzzer. If, however, you do not press the buzzer on the first clue, and if there's nobody on the first clue pressing the buzzer, I move on to the second and then to the third if needed, till I finally have a right answer. On the first clue, if you give me a right answer, you get 15. On the second clue, you get 12. On the third clue, you get 8. If you're all set, we're all ready to begin with the first ball or first question of the first over. This is Power Play. I wish all of you the very best. Here is question number 1. This is going to be an exhaustive list of what? Okay, I'm going to be giving you an exhaustive list in 3 parts. You have to tell me what is this an exhaustive list of. Each one of those 3 parts or each one of those subgroups are a complete list in themselves, but collectively those 3 subgroups make a bigger list. All right, so you have to tell me what that bigger list is. All right, here's the first of 3 clues. This in itself is a complete subgroup, but it's part of a bigger list. You have to tell me that. No one's trying, so I will move on to the second clue for 12 points. No one's trying, for somebody is. All right, who's on the buzzer? It is Naveen who's on the buzzer for plus 12 and minus 5, Naveen.
I'm just guessing these are the ICC 2023 World Cup sponsors.
These are the upcoming ICC World Cup sponsors. I will move on to my third clue. This was the third clue, and Naveen can now smile even more from ear to ear because that is indeed correct. Absolutely well done, Naveen. These are all partners of ICC in the various categories, the global partners, the official partners, and the category partners. Right. That's well done. Naveen, the defending champion from Hyderabad, second runner-up in the national final last year, opens the scoring board with a 12-pointer for himself. That's well done, Naveen. 12 points to Naveen. Right. So, like I said, this is cricket season, and we're following a cricket theme for this quiz as well. So, the first first question was basically a tribute to the upcoming ICC World Cup. All right. So, here's question number 2 now. What recurring advertising theme? So I'm going to be showing you, dividing it into 3 different bits, but it's a kind of an advertising theme that you see very frequently, and I'll tell you when and who are the parties involved. Or actually, you have to tell me what is the common theme across all these ads. Here's the first one, first set. 2015, acquired by Pandora Radio to Apple Music. It's spelled with that spelling itself, radio. Then in 2021, Substack to Facebook and Twitter on the launch of Bulletin and acquisition of Review, respectively, both of which have now been shut down. It's a recurring advertising theme. No one's trying yet. I'll move on to the second clue for 12 points. 2016, now acquired by Salesforce, Slack, when Microsoft launched Teams. Similar advertising theme for 12 points. Still no one. We'll move on to the final clue now. First published in 1981 in Wall Street Journal, Apple to IBM. It is a recurrent ad theme in the tech world that shows up due to fear or pride when a giant in another field enters the domain of a well-established startup. On the buzzer, first is Naveen for 8 points.
Okay, so these are welcome seriously ads. Like when Apple, when IBM was launching a PC, Apple came with welcome seriously. Or I'm not sure exactly Apple or IBM, but this is basically welcome seriously ads.
Welcome seriously ads. Let's take a look at the answer. The answer that I was looking for is indeed welcome seriously theme of ads. So that those were the first 2 clues. When radio said, when Apple entered the music industry with Apple Music, so they said, welcome Apple. And then when Facebook and Twitter bought Bulletin and Review, then they said, Substack said, welcome Facebook and Twitter seriously. And then, of course, when Microsoft launched Teams, Slack said, dear Microsoft, welcome seriously. And that's on the right is the OG ad when IBM entered the PC market, as Naveen said. Apple said, welcome IBM seriously. So this is the welcome seriously theme of ads. That's well done, Naveen. Back-to-back answers. This time you get 8 points. So you got 12 last time. This time you got 8. That's very good. Back-to-back answers from Naveen. As we move on to question number 3, first clue. In question number 3, this time I'm looking for what recurring 3 words. So your answer is 3 words, okay? Something that you see very frequently, and I'll show them bit by bit in sets. Here's the first one. This brand of beer by an Illinois-based brewery. 3 words. I've removed the 3 words, of course, in the visuals, so you don't see them. You have to guess if you can. No one's trying. Let's move on to clue number 2. A type of veg pizza offered by the American chain Pie 5 Pizza and described as step aside pops, the new school veggie pizza isn't for the blue head crowd. And also, this podcast in picture hosted by the Chief Revenue Officer of Compass Data Centers. On the buzzer, we already have Murtaza for 12 points. Yes, Murtaza.
Is this not your father's podcast?
Is it not your father's podcast?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to clue number 3. 2 books and an ad on the right by Oldsmobile. Murtaza said, not your father's. The answer that I was looking for is indeed not your father's. That's very well done, Murtaza. Absolutely brilliant. The 2 books in the final clue, Not Your Father's Capitalism, Not Your Father's Postcard, and perhaps the most famous one in this Not Your Father's list, was the ad "Not Your Father's Oldsmobile" that they launched. In a sense, they wanted to communicate that it's more modern and it isn't really for your fathers, so not your fathers. And that was the root beer, not your father's pizza, and not your father's podcast. That's well done there, Murtaza. You got it right on the second clue, means you get 12 points. That's very good. It is not your father's. Okay, now we move on to question number 4. I'm looking for a shared nickname across the 3 groups of visuals that I will show you. It's a nickname that is shared by the 3 groups of visuals that I'm going to show you. Here's the first group. No one's trying. So I'll move on to clue number 2. Here's clue number 2. Looks like no one's still trying, but I'm guessing everybody would be very excited when they take a look at the third clue, which is on your screen now. We first have Raktim. Yes, Raktim. You're muted, Raktim.
I'll say the big 4. Because of this one, as in the big 4 consultancy companies.
What do you see on this one?
PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, and Ernst
how
& Young.
about this one?
This, I think, the big 4 banks, that is Bank of England. I guess this is Eurobank, that is the Fed, and I'm not sure the fourth one.
Okay, I'll come back to it. And what about this one?
I think the big 4 pageants, Miss Universe, Miss World, Mr. or I don't know.
All right, let's take a look at the answer. The answer that I was looking for, the international pageants, Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss International, and Miss Earth. Central banks, Bank of England, Fed you identified, Bank of Japan is the one that you missed, and European Central Bank, and of course, the big 4 in accounting, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, and EY. The big 4. Absolutely. That is indeed correct, Raktim. That gets you 8 points. And this question is powered by our partner, SBI. And they'd be mighty pleased to see you getting an answer that was powered by them. Right, well done, Raktim. Gets you 8 points. That's very good. 2 questions remain in this round. Here is number 5. Which statutory body am I speaking of? Here's clue number 1. Conceptualized by the Raghavan Committee, it, ironically, often struggles to fill its leadership positions since there are hardly any applications. Which statutory body? No one's trying. Let's move on to number 2. This quorum deficiency mess can be attributed to 1. Low salary for its chairperson, about 4.5 lakhs per month. Lack of a revolving door policy with the industry. And 3. Scarcity of trained individuals due to the lack of specialized programs in many state law colleges. Which statutory body on the buzzer is Murtaza?
Yeah, is this the Competition Commission of India, CCI.
Why would you say CCI, Competition Commission?
Yeah, because of the, obviously this is a new committee in which, they look at the competition and whether companies are, in competition or not. And यहाँ पे जो है the lack of specialized programs, I would think of this statutory body.
All right.
About this.
The next financial commissioner, Ms. Ravneet Kaur, was appointed as chairperson in May 2023 after being one since October 2022. Murtaza says Competition Commission of India. Ironically, it is called Competition Commission of India, but it struggles to fill its leadership positions because there are hardly anybody applying for it. So this is indeed the Competition Commission of India. That's well done, Murtaza. That's the second answer that you've given in this round, and you get 12 points again. That's very well done. So this was Ms. Ravneet Kaur, who became the chairperson of CCI earlier this year. Murtaza gets 12 points for getting it right on the second clue. That's well done. And now for the final question. Here's number 6 for round 1, or over number 1. Implementation of what? Here's clue number 1. In the US, this will come into effect on 28 May 2024. In Canada, the change will take place a day prior, that is 27th May. Discussions in other countries like Mexico, Brazil, and UK are ongoing. Implementation of what? No one's trying. I'll move on to clue number 2. When the industry began, it would take 2 weeks. In the US, it wasn't until the 1970s that the duration began shrinking, dropping to 7 days, then 5, and then to 3 days during the 1990s. On the buzzer, we have Naveen for 12 points. Yes, Naveen.
Okay, this is the US equity, the settlement cycle.
So what does that mean? Can you elaborate on that?
So basically, like for how many days a settlement has to be finished, right? So there are few settlements which goes through months, through years, and also they are coming up with a thing, so that the cases are well settled in the prior time as well.
Sorry, what kind of cases?
This is to this is basically the timelines, right? So the US equity, the equity market. So okay. There are some cases like this would be like what do you say? A market participation, then insider trading.
All right. Okay. I'll move on to the next one on the buzzer to Eamon. Right, Eamon, what's your answer?
I guess it's the settlement cycle, which is the T+1 settlement cycle. India is the first one to implement it, and I think the remaining countries will implement it later on. The settlement cycle in the stock markets.
All right. My third clue was in India till 2001, it took a week, then it took 3 days till 2003. Then for 20 years until Republic Day this year, it took 2 days. And since then, India has been the second country after China to implement it. Eamon says the T+1 implementation system. That is indeed correct. Naveen, you were on the right track and then you sidetracked yourself by saying insider trading and all of that. I needed you to say the implementation of T+1 trading. That is where the timeline was that I was taking you to. Unfortunately, Naveen, I'll have to give you a negative. That's a -5 because I needed you to say T+1 trading system because that's where this clue was heading. And that's well done, Eamon. That gets you 8 points for getting that one correct. It is the T+1 trade settlement system, which, as you correctly identified, India implemented it earlier this year, the day after Republic Day. That's well done. This question was powered by our partner, BSC, and they'd be really happy to see it getting answered. 8 points there to Eamon, -5 to Naveen. That was the commission of the competition that seriously welcomed our Big Six. Perhaps the nerves would have settled down now, for if not, then at least in the next over, they can find a partner to surge ahead with. Just like Cerebration has in its partnership with JK Tyre to bring this quiz to you. On to over number 2 now. It is called partnership. In this round, each participant will get a direct question. You'll have 15 seconds of time per question. And we will go in order one by one, starting with Naveen, then to Raktim, and so on until we go to Murtaza and then finally to Himanshu. You'll have 15 seconds of time as a direct participant. If you know the answer, that's great. You can give me that answer. I'll give you 10 points. But if not, and if there's nobody willing to help you out and partner with you, then you still give an answer and you don't get it right, you don't get any negatives. But if there was somebody willing to help you and you decide against taking their help, and you give a wrong answer, you get a -5. You get it right, you still get a 10. But if you're not too sure, you might as well take their help. Listen to their answer, whatever they say, and then I bring the answer back to you, whatever the helping participant has said. For if you accept the right answer, both of you split points. If you accept a wrong answer, both of you lose points. And I move on to somebody else on the buzzer for +5, -5. But if you reject a correct answer as a direct participant, you will get a negative. The guy who helped you out, the participant who helped you out, will get a +10 for trying to give their best and trying to really help you and partner with you, but you decided against it. So they'll get that 10, you get a -5. But if you reject a wrong answer, you don't get any negatives because you've rejected a wrong answer. But if you reject, and they still get a -5, and then I take the question to whoever's next on the buzzer. 2 other teams, 2 other participants will be allowed to hit the buzzer after, of course, the partnership is done. And all of that has to happen within 15 seconds. All right. Your timer begins after I'm done reading the question. So let's start. with our first of 6 participants. This is going to be Naveen. Naveen, if you're ready, please unmute. All right. Naveen, here's your question. Everybody else, you're on the buzzer if you'd like to partner with Naveen to give this answer. Okay, here's my question for Naveen. This chart shows how certain TikTok, Insta, and YouTube videos by Kia Boys and others have led to an increase in something, I've redacted here, of Kia and Hyundai cars. This led to a class action lawsuit, which was settled for $200 million. What is this chart about? Kia Boys led to a class action lawsuit settled for $200 million. Naveen, nobody's willing to partner with you. You can give an answer if you'd like, not for no negatives if you get it wrong.
Okay, I'm guessing these are car thefts.
These are car thefts. That's your guess. Right. There was nobody willing to help you there. Raktim, you hit the buzzer, but it was a little too late. I need you to do that in 15 seconds. I will close the question with 10 points to Naveen. That is indeed correct. Absolutely. So Kia and Hyundai thefts have risen sharply because what they've essentially done is that these cars lacked electronic immobilizers. So as a result of which, it was very easy for people to just steal those cars. You could use tools as simple as USB charging cables to start the ignition, and that's it. So this led to a class action lawsuit with 200 million as settlement. So very well worked out. Naveen, I'm not too sure if you were confident of that. You had to take a guess and you took the right one. That means you get 10. And this question was powered by a presenting partner for this over. That is JK Tyre. Right. We move on to the next participant. That's going to be Raktim. Naveen got 10 on the previous question. Raktim, if you're ready. Raktim, you can put your buzzer aside. You don't have to hit it on this one. Okay, Raktim, here's your question. Others on the buzzer. The US Navy began work on the hangars in Mountain View in the 1930s in what is now NASA's Ames Research Center. They were built to be homes for some of the largest airships in the US fleet. Hangar 1 that you see on the left covers 8 acres and is made of metal. Hangars 2 on the right and the third one that you don't see in the visual were built a few years later out of wood. My question, why wood? Raktim, Murtaza would like to partner with you.
Okay.
You want to take Murtaza's help?
Yes.
All right, Murtaza, what is your answer?
So I think that's when they started taking part in the World War, and they were short on metal, and that's why they had to resort to wood because of the World War.
Okay. Raktim, he says the World War was coming and they were short of metal, so they had to resort to wood. Accept, reject.
Sorry, just to clarify, I can't pass or...
You can't pass. Accept or reject.
Okay. I'll accept.
You'll accept reluctantly. All right. But not so reluctantly, Raktim. I will give you 5 points because that's a 10-pointer for Murtaza. Absolutely perfect. World War II was looming and US needed all the metal it could get, so they resorted to building these hangars with wood. It's a brilliant answer there. Murtaza deservingly gets you 10, and well, Raktim did accept your answer. He wasn't too sure. He was just hoping, and his hope proved out to be correct. So that's 5 points to you, Raktim. That's well done, both of you. This question was also powered by our partner, JK Tyre. All right, now to the next one. That's going to be Sudhanshu, who's been quite silent till now. Sudhanshu, if you can unmute yourself.
Hello, yeah.
Okay, Sudhanshu, here's your question. Everybody else, you're on the buzzer. In 2008, a startup called Airship Ventures took over one of the hangars at NASA's Ames Research Center, which we just spoke of, and began offering sightseeing airship rides. The company had acquired one of the Zeppelin NTs that you see in the visual and could fly a dozen people at a time, secretly funding the now defunct startup Airship Ventures. Who was the first person to take a ride in the airship? Sudhanshu, you have help coming from Murtaza if you'd like to partner with him.
Yes.
Okay, Murtaza.
So I think this was one of the projects by Google, and the first person to write, I think, was Sergey Brin, the CEO of Google then.
Okay. Murtaza says Sergey Brin of Google. Sudhanshu, accept, reject.
I accept.
You accept, and you will accept well, because it is Sergey Brin. That's well done there, Murtaza. Back-to-back partnerships that have really worked out for you and for those you've partnered with. In this case, Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu, that's 5 points, and Murtaza, that's another 10-pointer for you. Sudhanshu, do you have a message for Murtaza?
Yeah, thank you, Murtaza. Like I had no clue about this. I
Okay.
was guessing Sergey, but I was conflicted with Elon Musk or Sergey. So
All right. Well done, Sudhanshu, on accepting it. Perhaps a trend of correct answers by Murtaza sort of had that bias in your acceptance. Either way, if it works for you, it works for me. 5 points, Sudhanshu, 10 points, Murtaza. We will now move on to Eamon. Eamon, this question was also powered by our partner, JK Tyre. And now to Eamon. Eamon, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Eamon. We'll now change the topic. We won't talk about the same topic now. We'll change the topic. Okay, here's your question. In 1939, using $5,000 in funding from the Rockefeller Foundation, this Columbia University professor organized a conference with engineers and specialists from Ford and DuPont to establish national standards for XY. It's a two-word answer. Okay, so XY. They identified 44 standards for XY. For color, they identified the National XY Chrome, later called National XY Glossy Yellow. The standardization of what was pioneered by him that earned him the title Father of XY. Two words I'm looking for, and Naveen is interested in helping you.
I won't take his help. I will try.
You will try yourself for +10 -5. Eamon, what's your answer?
Is it a school bus?
Is it school bus? It is indeed the school bus. Absolutely. This is Frank Sir, the father of school bus. He identified the National School Bus Chrome, later called the National School Bus Glossy Yellow, as you see in the visual. Well done, Eamon. Decided against taking help and getting it right yourself, even with that pressure of -5 looming on your head. But you knew it, and you knew it very well. So that's 10 points, Eamon. That's very good. This question was powered by our partner, JK Tyre, and 2 questions remain. The next one's going to go to Murtaza. Murtaza, are you ready? Please unmute.
Yes, I'm ready.
Right. Murtaza, here is your question. Earlier this week, after a journey of over 80 years, Mumbai bid goodbye to what icon of the city? This decision was taken a few months after the introduction of the locally built EIV 22 by this company in the picture. And at its peak, there were 900 of them in the city, but no new ones have been introduced since 2008. Murtaza, there is Eamon who's willing to partner with you.
I'll answer myself.
Go for it.
Is this the double-decker buses which were in Bombay?
Double-decker buses in Bombay. So what is the introduction of the EIV 22?
They were the electric ones which are being made now.
And so what is the one that has been bid goodbye to?
The double-decker buses which were used before.
And what were they powered by?
Okay. Powered by?
I mean, the new ones are with electric. So the old ones are by?
Gas, petrol, diesel.
That is correct. That's the answer. Just helping you further clarify your answer. It is indeed the double-decker buses, the diesel engine double-decker buses. That is correct. Murtaza, that's well done. Decided against taking help, getting it right yourself. It is the double-decker buses, the diesel engine double-decker buses. So that's 10 points to you. That's very good. This question was powered by our partner, JK Tyre. Right, very good. So the 10 points, Murtaza, and now to the final one. That's going to be to Himanshu, who has also been quite silent till now. Okay, Himanshu, are you ready? You can put the buzzer aside. Himanshu, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Himanshu, Here is your question. Others on the buzzer, the final one for over number 2. Derived from Greek words for contain and shape, skeuomorphism is a concept first invented by archaeologist Henry March in 1890. In EVs, some examples of it are highlighted in yellow in the left picture. What is skeuomorphism? An issue that Canoe pickup trucks, that's on the right, their CEO claims to have resolved. Himanshu, Raktim would like to partner with you.
Yeah, I'll accept.
All right. So Raktim, just define what is skeuomorphism.
Yeah. So skeuomorphism is basically, features that were earlier used, okay, which are not required now, or there are design features, or it can be any kind of design features that were early used and not in use anymore, but for for various reasons, for convenience sake and for familiarity sake, it is still kept in some manner in the new design as opposed to an old design. For instance, in the case of a car, for an electric car, it can be the sound. Electric cars.
Raktim, you need to summarize your answer that I can give to Himanshu.
It's basically features, design features that were that are not required but are still there for aesthetic purpose or
Himanshu, he says old features that are still around, although they're not really needed. Accept or reject?
Yeah, I'll accept.
You will accept, and you will accept well. That is indeed correct. So aspects of an object's design that no longer have a function. So in the case of, say, Canoe pickup truck, what the CEO says that, you don't really need a big bonnet in front because there is no engine there. You can use it for other things. And so they basically have the entire cab feature right at the very front, and you don't need to have a bonnet in front, right? So that was the example with EVs. So it's something in a newfangled technology you designed to make it look and act much like an old technology that it's actually replacing. So that's very well done, Raktim. Good answer, gets you a 10. And Himanshu, well done for accepting it. That gets you 5 points. That's very well done, both of you. This question was powered by our partner, JK Tyre as well. Himanshu, do you have a message for Raktim?
No, I was thinking about the same thing. It's like a vestigial type of thing, which become redundant after later period of time. Since EVs require a lesser weight to have in the car, so they can remove the things which are not necessary. So
that isn't quite the message that you have for Raktim. Is there?
I will say thank you. I will say thank you to him.
All right. Okay, great. So just confirming your suspicion there. All right, that's very well done, both of you. So that's the kind of partnerships that this over, powered by our partner, JK Tyre, was designed to witness. We saw glimpses of the stated intention of the participants, and we will see what state they're in on the scoreboard. But that's on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
It's time to break free. Break away from the routine. To the greens. And get lost in the world within. To steer through. To stop. Start again. Go forth. Shed your inhibitions and just let it all go. With JK Tyre's Ranger 80, made of tough, made for adventure. For the ones who are wild at heart. JK Tyre, total control.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform. I will outrank. I will achieve. I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back with a bunch of handsome hits. The result of the quiz is not a foregone conclusion yet. For now, on the scoreboard, the struggle is real, and so will be the accolades post-victory. 3 of the participants are just within 3 points of each other. We have Ayman at 22, Raktim at 23, Naveen at 24, Himanshu and Sudhanshu some distance away at 5 points apiece. But at this point, we do have Murtaza, who must be fancying his chance with 54 points. But half the quiz is still left with a lot more scoring opportunities. And so the quiz is still in its infancy. A mistake from here, however, can leave little room for redemption. But we will hold on to that thought for a while because we've lost one of the participants. So we'll just give him a moment and then we'll continue with our over number 3. Just give us a brief while. Himanshu, can you hear me? Just unmute yourself once. We lost you for a while. Himanshu, you're not audible. Himanshu, you're not audible. Okay, Himanshu, you're not audible. You might want to test your speakers or headphone. No. So, yeah, now it's working. All right. Yeah. Okay, so we're on to over number 3 now. A mistake from here would perhaps leave a little room for redemption. There is some gap between the first and the second, third, and fourth. The 3 of them very closely bunched with each other. So you'll have to tread carefully as we play 3 mini matches in the third over. It is called How's That? There will be 9 bowling options or topics and 6 questions or balls to be played. You will be divided into 3 pairs, 3 groups. So we'll play 3 matches. Starting from the table topper, you'll have 15 seconds of time to play the ball as a batter that is picked by the bowler, one of the 9 topics. If the batter and bowler can't answer, the other 2 spectators, which is the other 4 participants with us, they can buzz. If the batter gives the right answer, they get 10 points. But if they can't, and the question goes to the bowler, if the bowler gets it right, they get 5, the batter gets -5. If, however, both of them don't give me a right answer, question goes to the 2 spectators. If the spectator gets it right, the batter and bowler will get a -5, the spectator will get a +5. If, however, the spectator is incorrect, they get a -5. And if the question goes unanswered, then the batter and bowler do not lose any points. The order of matches, I will just tell you, Murtaza will play versus Naveen. Then we'll have Raktim play against Ayman. And finally, Sudhanshu will play against Himanshu. So Murtaza and Naveen, you don't have to buzz on the first couple of questions. Naveen, since you're second in the order, these are your bowling options. What do you want to pick for Murtaza? Remember, You might pick something twisted, but don't pick something too twisted, because if Murtaza can't answer, Naveen, it will come back to you.
A cosmetic business.
Cosmetics business, right? Murtaza, please unmute. Seem very happy with cosmetics businesses. All right. On a Saturday morning, Murtaza is all set with all the cosmetics he applied. Okay, Murtaza, here's your question. Other four participants, you're on the buzzer. Naveen, you don't have to hit the buzzer. Here's your question, Murtaza. Cosmetics. In cosmetics, efficacy testing isn't a priority because of costs. Consumer study by a third party costs about 2 lakh per stock keeping unit, and a clinical one costs up to rupees 10 lakh. These numbers fluctuate depending on what is being tested, which lab a company chooses for testing, and whether the test is performed on live subjects, that's X, or on samples collected from live subjects, that is Y. What are X and Y? The two of them are closely worded, are both two-word answers with same first word, and the second word is slightly different. So I've shown you the combination of letters. I hope you understand 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, 6, 4. Give me both X and Y. If you get one, you can work out the other one because they're very closely worded.
Wait, what are those numbers?
So 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4. So 3 and 3 are the same alphabets.
Oh, okay.
Two-word answers for both. Okay, Murtaza, I need an answer. No. I'll pass it to Naveen.
Even I'm passing it.
You'll pass it, and there's nobody trying on the buzzers. So does anybody want to take a guess? Not for points.
So basically, the first word is of just 2 letters.
Of 2 letters, that's right. And the first words are shared. The second words are very close, slightly different. You can answer from biology if you don't know from business point of view. And Murtaza, you're a doctor, so perhaps.
In vivo and in vitro.
That is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. That's well done, Murtaza, but not for points. I can give you a polite applause, and that's all I can offer. But this question was powered by our partner, Grey On. This is in vivo and in vitro. Murtaza regretting missing out on this, but Murtaza, you have a chance of getting a few points before we move on to the next match. So second inning, first match, Murtaza is the bowler now. What do you want to offer to Naveen?
S. Hawking quote.
So that is Stephen Hawking, of course. So Stephen Hawking quote. Naveen, are you ready? Okay. And Murtaza, you don't have to hit the buzzer. Others on the buzzer. Here's my question on a Stephen Hawking quote. It is practically impossible to predict the number that will come up. Stephen Hawking once wrote about what? Otherwise, physicists would make a fortune in it. It was designed to be a random chaos, elegantly rendered in circular motion. What is it that Stephen Hawking was speaking of? Naveen? Naveen, I need an answer.
Yeah, just a minute. Just a second.
Okay, Naveen, I'll have to move on to...
Okay, no, so there are no negatives, right? If I...
Quick, give me an answer.
Stock markets.
Okay, I'll pass the question to Murtaza.
Is this the Russian roulette? The roulette?
Roulette. Naveen says stock markets. The answer that I was looking for, there's nobody else on the buzzer. I'll close it. The answer is indeed roulette. That is correct. That's well done there, Murtaza. Indeed, it said elegantly rendered in circular motion, practically impossible to predict the number that will come up. Otherwise, physicists would make a fortune in casinos. Right? That's well done, Murtaza. That's 5 points. And Naveen, unfortunately, since you missed out, so you lose 5 points. So -5, Naveen, 5 points, Murtaza. That's the end of match 1. We move on to the second match. That's going to be between Raktim and Ayman. So Ayman, since Raktim is ahead of you by a point, you'll have to bowl first. Raktim, please unmute.
I will suggest shutdown in 2023.
Shutdown in 2023. All right, Raktim, here's your question. The next week is the final week of a certain business vertical that a company began with. It will be shut down after years of decline in revenue, both in absolute terms and in relation to total revenue. Which OG business vertical by a company whose 2007 pivot has now taken precedence? So the OG business that the company started with is now shut down. I mean, this is the final week now that is upcoming.
I can't pass, no? As in for
You can pass, but it's as good as a wrong answer.
Right.
Correcting, I need an answer. No. So
I'll
I'll
say,
pass it.
I'll say Facebook Meta.
Facebook Meta. Okay, pass it to Eman.
I guess it's the DVD business of Netflix. Initially started off the DVD rental, and now it's shutting down the DVD business, and it's only the streaming business which has taken precedence.
Right, there's nobody else on the buzzer, but I didn't need it because that is indeed correct. This is Netflix's DVD rental. This is the last week. After this, Netflix shuts its DVD business, and because the pivot that they've done, which is streaming, which perhaps all of us are familiar with, has taken significant precedence, as much as 99% of their revenue. That's well done, Eman. 5 points to you as a bowler, and Raktim, unfortunately, you missed. Eman hit. So Raktim, you get a -5. Eman, you get a +5. But Raktim, a chance at redemption. What do you want to give to Eman?
Unique TLDs.
You'll have to say that again, Raktim.
Unique TLDs.
Okay, Eman, please unmute. Unique TLDs for you. Others on the buzzer. While .ly registered entities have stagnated, what TLD, introduced in 1998, now comprises 0.1% of all websites, which is still a significant number. It has seen as much success because it is based in the British Indian Ocean Territory, whose flag you see here, and thus under a stable British rule, unlike Libya's .ly or Syria's .sy domains. However, it isn't clear where the registry money is going, nor whom it benefits. Which TLD, introduced in 1998?
Can I give an answer?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think it is about Anguilla, which has a domain name .ai. It is
All right,
recently
.ai, that is incorrect. Passes to Raktim.
Sorry, Ajay, do you want a geographical marker, or what exactly do you want?
I want the TLD. So Eman said .ai.
Okay.
Quick.
I'll say .tv.
.tv. Okay, no, that is incorrect. Question goes to first of our two spectators, and that is Naveen. Yes, Naveen.
Okay, this is .io for British Indian Ocean Territory.
.io for British Indian Ocean Territory. That is indeed correct. Absolutely. The answer was right there for the taking. I had given British Indian Ocean Territory. Eman, when you knew Anguilla, that's .ai, why would you pick for this? And I'm sure Raktim knew .tv is for Tuvalu. All right, that's very well done there, Naveen. Gets you 5 points. And Eman and Raktim, both of you lose 5 points because the spectator has stepped up to give that answer. So -5 Raktim, -5 Eman, but a +5 to Naveen. So this is the British Indian Ocean Territory. Why, the last point of the question that, nobody knows where the registry money is going nor whom it benefits is because it does not have permanent inhabitants. It just has some military base. It's a small island, just as a military base where only British and US personnel are there. Right, so this question was powered by our partner, Parker Pen, by Luxor Group. 5 points, Naveen, -5 Eman, -5 Raktim. And we now move on to our final match that is going to be between Sudhanshu and Himanshu. So Himanshu, please pick a topic for Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu, please unmute.
I will pick a brand shortage.
Brand shortage. Other spectators on the buzzer. Brand shortage for Sudhanshu. In 2019, there was a shortage of Ruafza in India during the summers at the start of Ramzan. Hamdard said the shortage was due to a lack of availability of key ingredients. But before production at Hamdard was restored, Ruafza was already available by X, was made already available by X on Amazon. However, the Delhi High Court intervened to remove the listing of such drinks when the Hamdard National Foundation filed a plea. My question is, whose intervention in selling Ruafza did Hamdard have an issue with? Before the Delhi High Court intervened. Sudhanshu, 3 seconds. Nothing. Question goes back to Himanshu.
I will pass.
You'll pass. So I'll go to the first of two spectators. That is Naveen. Yes, Naveen.
Okay, so when there was a shortage in India, the Pakistan branch of Hamdard, like the Pakistan branch of Ruhabza. So there's a when India got partitioned, there was another branch. So there was another brother who migrated to Pakistan and started Hamdard, and even they have a brand called Ruhabza. So when India was facing shortage, so Pakistan stepped up and they were offering. So for that, there was some issue with this.
All right. I'm guessing Naveen has now put a full stop, and that's when he gets his 5 points. That is indeed correct. It was Hamdard itself, but not the Indian Hamdard, because as Naveen has told the entire origin story of Ruafza and Hamdard, there are two Hamdards, one in India, one in Pakistan. So when India had a shortage, the Pakistan Hamdard stepped up until the Indian Hamdard had an issue, and they said, no, we don't want the brotherly Hamdard from across the border to pitch in. That's very well done, Naveen. That gets you 5 points. Absolutely well done. And Himanshu and Sudhanshu, unfortunately, both of you lose 5 points. Okay, so for -5 Sudhanshu, -5 Himanshu, but a +5 to Naveen. Now, we'll flip the order for the second innings. And Sudhanshu, now you get to pick a topic for Himanshu.
I'll pick Post Act Amendment. Post Act Amendment.
Yeah, okay. Posh Act Amendment. That is for Himanshu and others on the buzzer. Himanshu, your question on Posh Act Amendment is this. The Repealing and Amendments Act 2016 made certain amendments to the Posh Act in sections 6, 7, and 24 for the omission of a certain word. The omission enhanced the strength of the IC to also prevent sexual harassment acts against women employees. My question is the omission of what word? It is in plural form. So what word? Amendment in 2016 enhanced the strength of the IC to also prevent sexual harassment acts against women employees. Himanshu, 3 seconds. No answer. So I'll take the question to Sudhanshu. Yes, Sudhanshu.
No, I'll pass.
You'll pass. And we will now go to Naveen, who's been a regular feature on buzzer in this round. Yes, Naveen.
Okay. I was expecting it should not come to me, but okay, fine, it came to this I'm going with ladies.
Okay, ladies, I'm afraid that is incorrect, Naveen. That's a -5. There's nobody else after you on the buzzer, which means Sudhanshu and Himanshu, you don't lose any points. Okay, so you keep your score whatever you were at, but Naveen, you lose 5 points. Does anybody want to take a second guess? Not for points. So it says the omission of a particular word enhanced the strength of the internal committee to also prevent sexual harassment acts as against women employees. Now, nobody's as familiar with the Posh Act, something you should be if you're working in a large organization, even if you're not working in a large organization, is irrelevant. Okay, the answer that I was looking for is complaints. So the internal earlier it was called the Internal Complaints Committee. The word complaints was dropped because the idea for Posh Act was also to make it preventive and not just retrospective to only handle complaints. You could also make it preventive. So that is why they dropped the word complaints. Now you just have IC, which is Internal Committee, which also deals in prevention and of course also in complaints. So that's the word that is dropped from the term itself, Internal Complaints Committee to Internal Committee. Well, that's the end of over number 3 as well, the penultimate over. Did the participants play their matches well? Did anyone take strides forward to cement their place in the national final? We will find out on the scoreboard, but that's on the other side of this break. We'll be back shortly.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tyre, buddy.
JK Smart Tyre, the tyre with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tyre.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will perform, I will outrank, I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back to an encounter so pivotal in its own right. It provides a crucial competitor in the national final. The scoreboard tells us there is just about enough for those who want to turn the tide, namely Naveen at 25, Ayman at 22, Raktim at 13, Sudhanshu and Himanshu, both of you at 0. And even for those who want to preserve the valuable points they have thus far accumulated, which in this case is Murtaza with a score of 59. But preservation mode may not be the most apt strategy because it is time to slog. It is the fourth over. This round is a super over. There are going to be 6 questions, all on the buzzer, 15 seconds of time per question. Each question will have 2 answers. Very interestingly, pay attention. With the last few letters, how many? Few. Okay? Last few letters of the first answer being the first few letters of the second answer. When you're playing this round, when you're trying to give an answer, first you have to buzz. After buzzing, please tell me whether you're playing super or you're playing safe. If you forget to say super, I will assume that you are by default playing safe. So I will only let you give one answer. So please keep that in mind. You have to say super if you're interested in playing super. If you play super, you can answer both for 15 points. If, however, one is correct, one is wrong, you get plus 10, minus 5, so 5. If playing super and both are incorrect, you get a -10, -5, and -5. But if you're playing default or safe, then if you get that one correct, you get 10. And if you get that one incorrect, you get a -5. And the second one, if the second participant on the buzzer, if there's only one answer that remains, whether it's the first or the second, whatever answer that remains, you can give that +5 and -5. If, however, you want to press the buzzer, but you're second in the list, and you press the buzzer for the same answer that has already been given previously, you can say that you'd like to pass. You don't have to attempt. If you're attempting, you better make it right. Otherwise, you might get negative. Okay. All right. So I hope we're clear. All 6 of you can press the buzzer on the same question. If the question's alive, we will continue to keep playing that question. And I think we have all the 6 participants with us. Okay, great. So we'll start. All right. Good luck, everyone. 6 questions coming, 2 answers for every question. Remember to play super if you want to play super. This is the super over. Here's question number 1. Which British entity that calls itself the firm as the father of corporate branding, John Balmer equate to the Japanese Kairetsu for their international recognition and was also a key study area of his 2007 paper, Blanks as Corporate Brands? That's 8 letters. Ancient texts have detailed instructions on how around 50 ingredients and dozens of herbs are boiled, strained, ground, and blended into a dark semi-solid mass to make why. Many herbs used in such formulations in old times aren't as easily available today. The biggest absence is that of the Ashtavar. That's 12 letters. On the buzzer is Raktim. Raktim, what are you doing? Please unmute first. Whatever you do, unmute first.
I'll go for 1.
You'll play safe.
Yeah.
Which one, X or Y?
I'll say X.
Okay, X is?
BBC.
BBC.
Yeah.
8 letters. Of course, Raktim.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh,
that is
damn,
incorrect. That's a -5, Raktim. Question now goes to next on the buzzer, and that is Naveen.
Okay, I'm playing safe for X again. The firm is the McKinsey. It's McKinsey.
McKinsey.
Yeah.
For X, yeah. British entity. Naveen, you played safe. You got that one incorrect. So that's a -5 to Naveen as well. And Raktim, both of you getting a negative. Nobody else on the buzzer? Does anybody want to take a second shot? Not for points. Raktim, you seem to be very disheartened with that miss.
I should have. I think I'll go for the second one, Chyawanprash.
Chyawanprash is correct.
I should have.
Now go back to X. See if you can solve X. No? Okay, I'll close it. A British entity that calls itself the firm.
Is it East India Company?
Say that again.
East India Company?
East India Company. No, Chyawanprash is
Fitch.
Y.
Is it Fitch?
No, not Fitch, because it has to end in the letter Y. Okay, I'll close it. So it is, perhaps you'll be surprised or not, this is the British monarchy that calls itself the firm, gives out royal warrants and all that, right? So they call themselves the firm, monarchy, and Chyawanprash, right? So no points to any, -5 to 2 of you. That's Naveen who gets a -5 and Raktim who gets a -5. Okay, let's move on to number 2 now. Be very careful when you play, and once when you get one right answer, which I will declare if you do, then you can build on the other one. Okay, here's question number 2. 5 questions remain. The term ex-banking is often used for PE groups and hedge funds. It is on an uptrend in India with the recent listing of Jio Financial Services and was coined by this economist in visual just before the GFC in 2007. And on the right, why is the subsidiary of News Corp that publishes these? On the buzzer is the same order as the previous question, Raktim followed by Naveen. Yes, Raktim. Raktim, please unmute. What are you doing? Super or safe?
Safe.
Safe. Which one are you answering, X or Y?
I'll go for X.
X. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm not safe. I'll say startup.
Say that again.
Startup.
Startup. Yeah. I'm afraid, Raktim, that is incorrect. That's a -5, Raktim. Question now goes to Naveen. Naveen, super or safe?
Safe.
Safe. Which one, X or Y?
Y.
Y.
Dow Jones.
Dow Jones. That is correct, Naveen. That gets you 10 points. Now to Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu, do you want to go for X? You can pass if you want. Okay. Passing. Himanshu?
Shadow banking and Dow and
You're
Jones.
answering X. You are saying?
X is shadow banking. I will play super. X is shadow banking and Y is Dow Jones.
That is
DOWJONES.
perfect. That's the complete set that I was looking for. This is shadow banking and Dow Jones. That was the American economist Paul McCulley, who coined it in 2007 in the impending build-up to the global financial crisis in 2007. That is the complete set. So that's +10 to Naveen and a +5 to Himanshu and a -5 to Raktim. All right. Okay, so -5 Raktim, 10 to Naveen, and +5 to Himanshu. Now 4 questions remain. Here's question number 3. Launched last year in Gift City, Gandhinagar, this is India's first ever X exchange. And on the right, founded in the 90s in Vancouver, Y is the largest independent motion picture company in the world, and these are their productions, some of their productions. On the buzzer first is Raktim. Yes, Raktim, who's been Mr. Consistent in this round. Let's see if you're third time lucky. What are you doing, Raktim? Super or safe?
I'll
Raktim,
go for
quick.
I'll go safe. I'll say bullion exchange.
You'll go safe, and you're answering X or Y?
X
is
bullion.
Bullion. That is correct. That's 10 points, Raktim. Now I go to Ayman. Ayman, do you have Y or no?
No, I don't have Y.
No. I'll move on to Himanshu. Himanshu, do you have Y?
No.
No. I'll move on to Naveen. Naveen, do you have Y?
Yes. Y is legendary pictures. Legendary.
Is incorrect. That's a -5, Naveen. And finally to Murtaza.
Lionsgate.
Naveen, how did you miss that when you had bullion available for you? Why would you say legendary? This is Lionsgate. Absolutely. All those productions by Lionsgate. That's founded in Canada, in Vancouver. So that is -5 to Naveen, but a +10, some redemption of sorts for Raktim for 10. And Murtaza, you picked the one that was remaining after Raktim got that one. So that gets you 5 points. So 5 points Murtaza, 10 points Raktim, -5 Naveen. All right, we'll move on to our next question. That's going to be number 4. 3 questions remain. X is a hospitality brand present in over 40 cities in India and Nepal that has 7 co-founders who are a mix of alumni of IIM Calcutta, IIT BHU, and MDI Gurgaon. And on the right is these are some of the subsidiaries of Y that was formed in 2021 for 10 letters. On the buzzer first is Raktim yet again. Yes, Raktim, what are you doing?
I'll play safe. Going
safe.
for
X or Y?
X.
X is?
Zostal.
Zostal. That is correct. That's 10 points to Raktim. Now I go to Himanshu. Himanshu, do you have Y?
No.
No. I go to Naveen. Naveen, do you have Y?
Yeah, I'm guessing this is Stellantis.
Zostal and Stellantis. Absolutely. That's the complete set. That's very well done. The both of you. Raktim, 10 points. And Naveen, 5 points. That's very good. And nobody lost any points on this one. as 2 questions remain. Here's question number 5. On the left, launched in December 2020, X is a cloud kitchen-based eponymous brand that sells 4 burgers and whose first physical store opened in late 2022 in New Jersey. And on the right, I'm looking for the common theme across this list. Austrian Willem Bolt, Swedish Henrik Koenig, Colin Campbell, Nicholas Salgren, French Jean-Baptiste Colbert, Genoese Jean-Marie Dunkirk, Portuguese Philip III, Danish Christian IV, Dutch Johan van Oldenbarnevelt, and British The Adventurers. On the buzzer is Eamon. Super or safe?
I will play safe.
Which one are you answering, X or Y?
I'll answer X. It's Mr. Beast.
X is Mr. Beast. That is correct. That's well done, Eamon. And now I take the question to Murtaza. Murtaza, do you have Y?
Yes, I have Y and I'm going for East India Company.
Mr. Beast and East India Company, absolutely. This is, Naveen, where your East India Company comes. Okay, that's very good. Eamon, 10 points to you for Mr. Beast and Murtaza. Well done for latching on to that answer that was perhaps Eamon, something that Eamon left behind. It is East India Company. So these were the various East India companies, French, Portuguese, British, and all of those, the founders of each of these East India companies. That's well done, Murtaza, 5 points. And well done to Eamon. That gets you 10 points. That's very good, both of you. Right. We now move on to our final question for the Hyderabad regional round. Common to all of you. Here it comes. Both X and Y have interests in Jio Financial Services. X, founded in 2002, with $287 billion assets under management, is the 13th largest sovereign wealth fund. And on the right, Y, an acronym for an investment management and operations platform with over $9 trillion assets under management, headed by the person in the visual. On the buzzer is Naveen. Yes, Naveen.
You're playing safe. The first
X or Y?
X.
X.
X is Mudabala. Mudabala.
You want to spell that again?
Mudabala. Mudabala. Sir.
Okay. All right. I'll give that to you, Naveen. That's fine. Just fumbled on the consonants. Sorry. You fumbled on the consonants, but I'll give that to you. It is Mubadala, not Mudabala, but Mubadala. I'll give that to you, Naveen. That's fine. 10 points to you. Next on the buzzer is Raktim. Raktim, do you have Y?
No, I don't. I also
you don't. So I'll take it to Eamon. Eamon, do you have Y?
No, I don't have Y.
Okay. All right. So that is it. That's the end of the Hyderabad regional round. Does anybody want to take a second shot at what Y could be? Not for points. That is Mubadala. And what would be the 9 trillion assets under management? There could only have been one. Is an acronym of Assets, Liability, and Debt Derivative Investment Network by BlackRock. It is called Aladdin. Right, so Mubadala and Aladdin is what I was looking for. So that's just 10 points to Naveen to end this quiz. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of day's play. It was a clash of curious minds, flavored by a serene start, captivated by some profitable partnerships in the middle, and of course, will now be garnished with the customary reward of regional supremacy at Hyderabad. But that's on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
They've come from the future to change the way we drive.
JK Smart Tyre, buddy.
JK Smart Tyre, the tyre with a brain. The future of driving is here. JK Smart Tyre.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that led success soar high. I will perform, I will outrank, I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank.
I am the I in SBI.
SBI, the banker to every Indian.
It's time to change your brand. Grayon, beauty, cosmetic, personal care products.
Welcome back. If last week's highlight in Bengaluru can be summarized with the phrase, "It ain't over until it's over," today's Hyderabad regional round can be summarized as it was over even before the super over. What a super performance by our winner from Hyderabad. Our winner is Dr. Murtaza Hashmi from DCMS with a score of 69 points. Very well done, Dr. Murtaza Hashmi. He was bothered briefly, but not too bothered by our second place from 2021, second place from 2022, continues to be second place in the Hyderabad regional round. Second runner-up in the national last year was Naveen with a score of 40 points. But of course, today he had an encounter with somebody who was in the prime of his form, in the form of Dr. Murtaza Hashmi. Very well done to you. I will see you at the national final at BSC in Mumbai. But of course, to the other 4 Hyderabad finalists, never for a moment felt like it was your first time under spotlight. I do look forward to seeing you at the subsequent editions of this great quiz. Of course, thanks in big part to our viewers and partners, presenting partner JK Tyre. It's brought to you in association with BSC, associate partners SBI, Grayon, and Parker Pen by Luxor Group, and TV partner NewsX. Well, that is that from the team at the Hindu BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2023. It is goodbye for now.